Nobody know how it started, how it was when it got to the middle. But I can tell you how you can end it off. Put a praise on it. Put a praise on it. Put a praise on it. No matter how it was, how it looked, how it turned out. If you've learned to put a praise on it, that's only saying God get the last say. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to put your praise on it. Come on, put your Monday on it. Put your Tuesday on it. Your Wednesday, your Thursday, Friday, your Saturday. We here on Sunday. Hey! Come on, come on, come on. Praise him for yourself. Come on. Come on, come on. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. See, Monday, he tried to make you dread seeing Tuesday, but you made it to Tuesday. And then he tried to make you not want to see Wednesday. But God was good and you got to Wednesday. Then Thursday came and all hell tried to break loose. He didn't want you to get to the weekend. Then Friday came and it was the weekend. Big baby. Then Saturday came and he tried to drown you then. But you made it to Sunday. You made it. You made it. You made it. To get refueled. To get re-energized. To get more strength. Go on, praise. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. You got 10 more seconds. You got 10 more seconds to jump on the devil's head. Yeah! Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah! Put your praise on. Put your praise on. Put your praise on. Put your praise on. Hey! 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 Yeah. You know, it makes your adversary upset when all he's thrown your way, that you get the opportunity at the end of it to put a praise on it. See, putting a praise only says that I still believe what God said. I don't care what it looked like. I don't care what it was. I don't care how it turned out. Putting the praise only says I still believe what God said. And I heard the Bible say that my answer is yea and amen. Yes, and it's over. Yes, and I said so. Yes, be it so. You better learn how to get a praise when you can. I did not say this. But you can find it in your Bible. The Bible said, Jesus said, if they hold their very tongues, the rocks will cry out. Because look, watch this. Because God even been good to the rocks. They still standing. They still strong. Despite the rain, despite the snow, despite the ice, the rocks are cloud. He still kept me. I just your Bible said that. The Bible said that. God bless you. God bless you. We are thankful to all those and invite all you guys who are on the social media platform. God bless you. We know that this is the first Sunday. This is the first Sunday of February, Black History Month. A moment in time where we acknowledge and we honor our ancestors, those who have gone before us and who has blazed the pathway for us to follow. So on this day, we start to acknowledge all those that has set their mark in history, not only in the United States of America, but throughout the history of the world. Throughout the history as the world has been or is still evolving and revolving around itself. All our ancestors, brothers and sisters, who have sacrificed with their lives so that you and I can be able to stand up for what we believe, whatever that may be. We want to give honor to all those as far as our Black History Month. And thank God this is the first Sunday, but it's definitely not the last. We're gonna do it. If you, my God, let's give our children another hand clap of praise. We're looking at our future. That's what you see, the future. That's the future. We thank God for all those parents and Devin and Joy and Patricia and all those who have been over there to help them. God bless you. Thank you, guys. There's a job well done. They look marvelous, sound marvelous, and I am sure that God is well pleased. Jesus said, let little children come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them come and let them listen and learn. Go with me with Mark. I want to, because this is the beginning of Black History Month. And I'm sure that it's very seldom or very rarely that you ever hear this preached. So go with me to Mark. Go with me to Mark. We're in Mark. We're right there in the 15th verse. I'm sorry, the 15th chapter. I'm sorry. We're in the 15th chapter of Mark. And then I give you a little time to get there because I know you had to put a praise on it, and you kind of, I know it's going to take you. I'll give you a second. That's the gospel as recorded by Mark. Now, you can find this account in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. But we're going to come from Mark's account today. And that's in the 15th chapter. And I will commence reading. If you would, just read along with me. I will commence reading here, starting at the 16th verse of the 15th chapter. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start the 15th verse. I'm gonna go the 15th verse. And so Pilate, willing to content the people, released Barabbas unto them and delivered Jesus when he was scourged, when he had scourged him to be crucified. And the soldiers led him away into the hall called Praetorium. And they called together the whole band, and they clothed him with purple and plaited a crown of thorns, and they put it on or about his head and began to salute him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they smote him on the head with a reed and did spit upon him, and bowing their knees, worshiped him. And when they had mocked him, they took off the purple from him and put his own clothes on him and led him to be crucified. And this is where we are. And they compelled one Simon, a Cyrenian, who passed by coming out of the country, the father of Alexander and Rufus, to bear his cross. And they bring him into the place Golgotha, which is being interpreted the place of a skull. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, the keeping, the hearing, the doing, and living out of this, his holy word. I can just about count on one hand, how many times you've heard this preached. No. I want you to. I have to take you so that you in your mind can be in the place, and that you can partake with what's going on yourself. They just got finished scourging my Lord. They just got through with the cattails of the whips and whipping his backside and opening in his flesh. And they just got through beating him in his head with bamboo sticks. And they just got through spitting on him and punching him in his face. And they just got through hitting him and carrying him down the hall. And they took some thorns and they cut the thorns and they put them together for a crown, and they squeezed them on his head until blood trickled from every thorn that was penetrating from his head into his skull as they pushed it down to make sure that it could go no further. And then they took him to a hall, making him carry. And let me just say something about Simon first. This is Black History Month. The Bible does not ever just place its words there to be there. There's a reason why the Bible said that a man named Simon, a Cyrenian, who passed by, and they said they made sure that you knew where to find him. The father of Alexander and Rufus. So I had to dig a little bit. I would see about Black History Month, and I found out that the city of Cyrene, that because he was a Cyrenian, the city of Cyrene that he comes from is on the northern part of Africa in Libya. So I'm almost 90% sure if his country or his home was the northern part of Libya, on the top part of Africa. I'm 90% sure he's not very light. I'll just put it. I would think he was a very, 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 very light-skinned person. He might have been light, but I don't think he was too light. I think he had, if he was coming from Libya, I believe there's a lot of melanin somewhere in his, he has to have melanin somewhere in his mind. So I'm thinking he's a colored person. He's a colored person, and I can see, can you see? Let's put ourselves as Simon. Because Jesus now, as the Bible puts it, is unrecognizable. So they've whipped and scourged and beat him so bad that you can recognize who he is. And Jesus is carrying a cross. Backside ripped open. But yet carrying a cross. Painfully walking step for step, bleeding each step, holding a cross that has splinters, that's continuously cutting every time he walk with the cross. And Jesus is doing all this not for Jesus. Walking with every step, he know more pain is coming. Walking with every movement, he know there's something that's going to be more disastrous that happens. And yet Jesus is walking. And Jesus gets to a point where my sin was too much. Amen. Jesus get to a step where my sickness made him buckle. Jesus get to a step where my emotional issues have just made him fall. Because see, he was carrying my sins. And he was carrying your sins. And it got to a point where the sins of the world was too much to bear. And the Bible said there was a man named Simon. And Simon was coming back, and the Bible said they compelled him. In other words, they made him. They made him pick up the cross. I thought about that. I thought about that because if you think about it, the Bible said that Simon was coming from the country. So Simon don't even know what's been taking place. It'll hit you in a second. Simon don't even know what's been taking place. But yet, Simon finds himself at the right place, at the right time, in the right season, to be compelled. To be compelled. To be compelled to carry somebody else's burdens. See. I don't believe in coincidences. I just don't believe it. I don't believe in accidents. I just don't believe it. I just believe that things are done by God's providence. I don't really believe that things just happen by chance. I don't believe that things just coincidentally take place. I don't believe that. I didn't say you don't believe that. I don't believe that because I believe that in God's providence, God has everything moving together till his plan become performed. Now, isn't it just like God to know that on February the 5th, 2023, at around about 1:10, that God was going to have you and me in a place, watch this, in a place like he had Simon, and when that place where my will meet his will, watch this, I'm going to get you there, just stay with me. Where my will get in position to get in line with his will, and I get compelled, and I get compelled not to handle my burden. I get compelled to pick up somebody else's cross because I see they on their knees and they weak from carrying the cross, and I get to pick up somebody else's cross and I get to carry their cross for them. Now here's the thing. Jesus kept walking. Look, I'm finna go somewhere. I'm gonna take you somewhere and I'm gonna sit on down. Jesus kept walking. Simon walked behind him. Jesus kept walking. Simon walked behind him. Let me get to this thing. Jesus kept walking. Simon walked behind him. Let me get it back. Y'all, let me come. Somebody back here get it. Watch this. Let me talk to him. Jesus kept walking. Simon picked up the cross that Jesus had and walked behind him. Jesus kept walking. Simon picked up the cross that Jesus dropped. Simon picked up the cross that Jesus put down. And Jesus kept walking. Simon picked up what Jesus put down and started walking behind Jesus. It'll come. Simon picked up what Jesus dropped down. And Simon started following Jesus' walk. Now let's get, what are you saying, Pastor? What are you saying? How can I be Simon? Because see, you don't know you Simon today. I'm just going to help you out. I'm gonna help you out. You Simon today. Simon, unbeknownst to Simon, Teresa, Simon is just coming back from the country. Oh, and he runs into a catastrophe. Simon is on his way back because it's the Passover festival. So Simon is on his way for festivities during with life, right? And walks into a catastrophe that is showing death. I said, Simon is coming back from the country to come and enjoy the Passover festivals. He's coming for something that God has to everybody that means life. He's coming to indulge in the festivities of life, but walks into a catastrophe of death. What are you saying, Pastor? God has given you the antidote on how to defeat death. Now, Jesus dropped the cross. He was tired, whipped, beaten, worried, scourged. He dropped the cross. The thing about it was, Simon didn't volunteer. When God, let me help you out. I'm going to help Teresa. I'm talking to Teresa. Teresa, Simon didn't volunteer to help Jesus, but the Bible said he was compelled. In other words, when God comes to touch you, listen to me. When God comes to touch you, because God knows you have what somebody else needs to help pick them up, to help walk behind them, to help show them the way, to help somebody else. The Bible said that Simon picked up the cross and followed Jesus. He didn't pick up the cross and go before Jesus. He didn't pick up the cross and say, Jesus, follow me. He picked up the cross. Listen to me. The cross being the mandate. The cross being what God gave you. I got news for you. Listen to me. Listen to me. When your will equals up to God's will, listen to this. Listen to me. Listen to this. When your will equal and match up to God's will, watch this. There will always be a cross to carry. There will always be a cross to bear, and you will have to bear it. There was a song my teacher used to sing. She said, shall I bear the cross alone and all the world go free? Know that there's a cross for everyone, and there's a cross for me. See, sometimes when you just living your life and you end up trying to walk into God's festivities, God will step in and compel you. See, you coming to enjoy the festivities. You coming to church because you want to see what God gonna do in your life. You coming to church because God said he want to prove something to you. And when you come and your will end up meeting God's will, God will compel you. Hey, help him carry that cross. Hey, help her carry that cross. Hey, you've seen it before. You've been through that before. You know how that feels. Help them get up, Simon. Help somebody, Simon. Help somebody load off their cross, Simon. Help somebody carry it. It done got a little heavy for them. It done got a little too much for them. So I'm going to compel you. Watch this. What Simon did at that time, I'm sure Simon didn't see no benefit. For one, now, watch this. Now you taking me out my direction. So now you done told me to go help him. I'm trying to go this way. You done took me out of my direction. But see what he didn't know, what Simon didn't know, was that Simon's sins was on that cross. His son's sins was on that cross. His daughter's sins was on that cross. What you don't know, when God compels you to do something for somebody, what you don't know is what God got for you for you doing what he told you to do. There's benefits. There's benefits in being compelled. When God compels you, let me show you. Look, babe. Let me tell you. I'm gonna use her. When God compels you, let me tell you what that means. That means God put all his efforts, watch this, into making you walk the way he wants you to walk. That's what compel me. God grab you and say, get up. You can't sit, you ain't gonna sit there in that and wallow in that despair. Get up. You ain't gonna sit there and be all upset. Get up. I got another cross for you to bear. And you're strong enough for it. I said you're strong enough for it. Can you only imagine how Simon must have felt coming into the town to experience the glorious life? But the moment he got to February the 5th, 2023, he didn't know God was right there waiting for him to make him bear a cross. He didn't know God was right there to show him you stronger than you think you are. You have more strength than you think you do. You can stand longer than you think you can. I'm going to compel you because I know what's inside of you. I'm going to compel you because I know how strong you really are. I'm going to compel you because I know how big your spirit really is. And here goes Simon. Simon is there. Can you see Simon carrying the cross? Jesus in front of him. Every time Jesus stepped, blood fall. And every time the blood fall, Simon got to walk over it. Every time Jesus moved, rocks fall. And because Simon is walking behind him, Simon got to walk right through it. Every time Jesus moved, peace fall. And because Simon is bearing that cross, Simon got to walk right through it. Every time Jesus walked, happiness fall. Faith fall. Understanding fall. Wisdom fall. Knowledge fall. Goodness fall. Glory fall. And every time it fall, Simon got to walk through it. So that means the glory Jesus dropped, I get a chance to experience it. The peace Jesus just dropped, I get a chance to experience it. The love Jesus just dropped, I get a chance to experience it. The love that Jesus gave, I get a chance to experience it because I'm walking behind him. And everything that's in front of me, I got to walk through. And Jesus is just walking. Yeah. Walking. And Simon is behind Jesus. And when you understand and God compel you, watch this. You can ask the same question, but it be with different emphasis. Let me explain. Go ahead. I can see him saying, why I gotta carry this cross? Then I can see him going, why God picked me to carry the cross? I can see him going, I'm not good enough to carry his cross. Then I can see him going, thank God I'm not worthy enough, but he chose me to carry the cross. I can see him saying, well, all these other people around here, why didn't he choose none of them? Then I can hear him saying the same question. All these other people around here, yet he chose me. The question can be the same. But when God compels you, you see it different. You understand it different. It's not the same way. It's a different way. I know that I can bear the cross. when man's will, that's your self-will. That's the will that you have control over. When man's will come in connection into the space and the place where God will is, there'll always be a cross to carry. There'll always be a cross to bear. There'll always be a cross to carry because when God saved you, filled you with his precious Holy Ghost, and gave you the evidence of speaking in tongues, and gave you the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You know why God always compels us? Because all that he put inside you was for more than just you. It wasn't. See, you thought it was just for you. That ain't just for you. It's for the cross-bearing moments in your life that you're going to have to help somebody else. You're going to have to help somebody else bear a cross. You're going to have to help somebody else say they can make it. You're going to have to help someone else believe in themselves more than they do. You're going to have to help someone else. And God placed that in you so when you need it, you got more than enough than to help somebody else with. The Bible said in Simon, Simon got at the cross. And the Bible said that, look at this, the Bible said that first they put him in purple. You know, purple represents royalty. And while he was in purple, they beat him. I'm done. This is my last point. I want you to get this. While he was in purple, they beat him. They scourged him. They spit on him. They slapped him. They kicked him. See, so be careful where you really want to find yourself. Because when he had on the royal colors, they treated him like a peasant. They beat on him. But the Bible said, but when they took the purple off, they put him on his own clothes. I said they put him on his own clothes. And when he got back in his own clothes, when he got back in his own strength, when he got back in his own might, when he got back in his own knowledge, when he got back in his own wisdom, when he got back in his own service, the Bible said that when they put his own clothes on him, all of a sudden he'll pop up Simon. Because when you really get to who you are, not who you want to be, not who you think you are, not who you think you can be, but when you come to the knowledge of who you really are, that's when the help gonna be there. When you know I am what I say I am. I am who God say I can be. I am no matter what it looks like. I am no matter what I feel. I am. And when you get to that point, the Bible said his help popped up. Simon came back. And look at this. Look at this. Go ahead. Watch this. The soldiers got Simon.
That's it.
Go ahead. The disciples didn't go get Simon. The same ones. See, this is what the Bible say when it say, I'll make your enemies your footstools, because everything they think they doing to you, they don't really know. I'm just going to use that to make you step up a little higher. Everything they really saying about you, they don't know I'm going to really use that to make your life go up another notch. everything they try to put against you, they really don't know I'm using that. And the Bible said the soldiers when it compelled Simon, you come carry the cross. You come carry the cross for him. And they thought they were doing Simon a disservice. But what they didn't know was they was writing Simon into the book of life. They was writing Simon's name into everlasting love. They was writing Simon's name into all power. They didn't know that. Simon, come over here. Can you see the Roman soldiers going, he done failed. Get up! Get up! Get up! And Jesus just laying down there. And can you see Jesus looking over at Simon as Simon is walking past? And they go, get that nigga, get Simon. Yo, something like that, because we talking about Roman soldiers. Man, get that black one right there. Let's make him carry the cross. See, because what they thought was humiliating. What they thought they was making fun of. What they thought they was making a mockery of. What they don't know is that Simon was meeting an appointed agenda that God already had made. And when Simon got to it, and they said, get him, it looked like that was them saying, get him. But that was God saying, get him. Get him. Get him. I want him to bear the cross. I want him to carry it the rest of the way. The Bible said that Simon carried the cross. And let me tell you how I know I'm true. If you go to Romans, around the 6th chapter, around there somewhere, you will find when Paul is writing, Paul said, everybody, you want to give my love to this one, give my love to that one, give my love to this one. Tell them thank you, tell them. He said, and oh yeah, by the way, tell Rufus and Alexandra that I said hi. And I pray that all is well. Now, Rufus and Alexander, them was Simon's children. Them was his children. He was the father of Alexander and Rufus. And yet, here we go, years later, Rufus is spoken of. Alexander is spoken of. Not for what they did. But because their father was able to bear a cross that wasn't his own. God came back today to answer your why. Why does this keep happening? Why is this taking so long? Why don't I see an end to this? Why is this steady popping up? Because there's a cross that you must bear. And you must bear it for someone else. Yeah. Simon, old Simon, carried the cross the rest of the way. And because Simon carried someone else's cross, because he carried your cross. See, that just wasn't Jesus' cross. That cross had the sins of the world on it. So your name was on that cross. Your name was on that cross. My name was on that cross. All of us was on that cross. And he bared it, not for himself, but for someone else. So the question is this. Here is the question. Can God trust you? To point you out of a church full of people and say, choose her. Choose him. Choose him. Choose her. Choose that one. Choose that one. They will be willing to bear someone else's cross. We'd like to thank all those that have tuned in. I'm too much.
Encourage you to get a close and personal relationship with your Lord and Savior. We are located here at 1501 West Marquette Road. It's right on the corner of 67th and Avenue. Whenever you get tired of watching on whatever social media outlet that you're watching on, you can feel free to come in. We are here on Sundays from 10:30 to 11:15 for Sunday school, and from 10:45 to the Spirit says we're done for early morning worship. You can find us here on Wednesdays from 7 o'clock to around 7:40, 7:45 for prayer service, and 7:45 until the Spirit says we're done for Bible class. May God bless you and heaven continue to smile.